Hi, hello, welcome. Welcome back to another Onkruid video. Welcome back to another Time Survivors video, where we will head straight into the Dark Age, but with Ape this time. Based loosely, very loosely, I think, of American President Abraham Lincoln. Just like any reference to, what's the message that they always include in like satire shows or in books? John Green does it in his books, I know as well. Like any similarity to existing persons, real or from other series in life, or like purely coincidence. I'm sure it's the same case here, and they didn't actually mean to model someone after President Abe Lincoln, right? No idea what President Abe Lincoln is known for, except for playing a major role in, I think, ending slavery, right? Radioactive skull, interesting. That's what I think, at least. I presume I am correct in that, because I don't know why I would otherwise imagine that if it would not actually be the case. It would be quite a weird thing to just randomly think. Let's see, some more size. Let's head over to the little altar thing as well, right in the bottom right. Otherwise than that, Abe Lincoln, I think he has like a giant statue of him sitting somewhere. Is it like in the Washington Memorial, something like that? Or is it like the Lincoln Memorial? I'm not quite sure. I'm not quite sure about that fact. You might need to have fact checked me on that a little bit. Not that strong on like... so I don't really want any of these. Guess we will go for faster projectiles to make our flails move out a bit further. I don't know a lot about American politics or American history. To be honest, I don't know a lot about my own, or well, my country's own politics, and probably also history as well. Just some things that don't really appeal to me all that much. Politics and stuff, whoa, miss me with that shit, you know? It annoys me way more than it would ever interest me, because I just in general have the feeling that if something is to be said about politics, is that those people get paid too much for what they do. But that is a very naive standpoint that I have as somebody who doesn't know how politics actually even work, probably. So take everything I say about those subjects with a large grain of salt. Like really just like some of that nice pink Himalayan salt, you know? But a large amount of it, like a McDonald's fries amount of salt, you know? The type of saltiness that would the type of saltiness that has you craving for water for the next 14 hours of your life consistently. That's how much salt you should take my messages with. About more than just politics, probably, because all in all, in like the general context of life, in like looking at it from a more macro perspective, from a zoomed out perspective, looking at my position in the world, the kind of networks I am embedded in, the kind of experience I have with life, my age as well. Take everything I say on the Onkruid channel and in real life, if you meet me in real life as well, with some large grains of salt rather. I think that's also just like my doubt speaking, my sometimes crippling doubt that was developed because of, or in large because of the university education that I have had throughout my life as well. It makes you, or it makes me at least, doubtful and unsure about everything. All of a sudden everything needs to be proven, and you want to say everything in a nuanced way and in a double way as well. Like it could be one end or the other end. You don't necessarily ever want to take strong positions in debate anymore. You always answer with yes and no. That's at least the effect that a university education had on me. I think it's a beneficial effect in some ways. It makes you, as I said, more nuanced about things in the world in general. It makes you have probably a more realistic worldview. It makes you a bit more careful for fake news and stuff like that as well. At the same time, I think it really plays into anxiety, because after a while you start having doubts about everything, and sooner or later the doubts about yourself are also gonna come up. Definitely where imposter syndrome also comes from a little bit in my personal, everything I am saying right here is about my personal case. Boots of fire, walk 300 meters, die instantly while hit. Generate a fire trail, damaging enemies while you walk. Very interesting. You must break 20 more vases, die instantly when hit. Increase all power-ups duration. No, I don't want power-up duration, but walking 300 meters, that seems very, very much doable. Without getting hit, yeah, I think we can definitely do that. We can even do it a little bit in a circle. But, oh, okay, that makes it a little bit more difficult. More difficult is what I meant to say. I thought that those were just coins on the ground, but of course this game doesn't actually drop coins, so that was a little bit stupid of me to expect that. Let's go for a little movement speed upgrade now that we're here. Not great, but we're just gonna head into another run. I was talking about something significant, but I don't really remember what anymore. I was talking about politics and stuff like an hour back, but right before heading into the curse upgrade, I was talking about something significant as well. About being doubtful about the entire world. You start doubting yourself as well, and you start doubting everything that you say, because you always want to bring that nuance into the conversation. You want to say that everybody needs to take everything with a grain of salt, just because you're scared of getting fact-checked and then getting stuff wrong. Because in some way, shape or form, being in a university context, for me personally, kind of made being wrong and saying things that were not actually factual, that were not forensically checked, for example, made that seem like the greatest sin in existence that will earn you a golden ticket straight down to Satan's lair, you know, so you can start up sexual relationships with Saddam Hussein. Get that reference? 4 respect points. Little crossbow action, sure. Oh, it has some nice fire rate, and it's something we can aim as well, which is very, very much appreciated. I think it can help us get out of close calls in the future. Or the thing is up top a little bit. I wonder how other people in the Onkruid community think about that. People with or without an education on the higher education level. Do you guys always also feel doubtful about everything in life? Resist with lights out for 30 seconds. Press space to drop a bomb. I think I'm gonna go for this, but 20 vases is quite a lot, but I don't really want an active item. I have noticed that I don't necessarily love the active items that the game provides all that much. Or well, I have not that much experience with them yet, but for now, we will just head straight along, destroy a couple of vases. It should be... Ooh, easy enough. One more try, one more shot for this episode. Even if it's gonna be a short video, we can just keep on going. We need to be a little bit careful, more careful with those curses. Although I definitely do think that the one that we were about to receive with like walking a certain amount of meters, that's definitely doable, definitely possible, if we timed it a little bit better and if we didn't just think that the shots coming at us were just random coins for us to pick up. It's a bit of a curse, you know. It makes you seem more intellectual, I think, and a bit more calm and collected, a bit more thought out, a bit more thought through. Everything you say seems to be a bit more intellectual, intelligent, but at the same time, it makes it sometimes, I think people will think like, oh, there's that guy without any personality of his own again, you know, without any strong opinions. He doesn't want to say yes or no. He always says maybe, partly, partially this, a little bit that also, you know. It's not somebody that you can ask for a nice discussion because he will never give you a real perspective. I think that is kind of the curse that also comes with that. And just being doubtful about almost everything in life is not a great approach to life as well, of course. Let's go for a little slingshot. Maybe it gets powerful after a while. Because sometimes you have to let go. You have to let go in life to really, really enjoy it. You have to be able to just calm down. What is it with these fucking things, man? Resist with lights out. Let's go. And we can't pick up gems. So I guess we just need to stay in a short range. Oh, that apple right there is very nice. We're just chilling. I mean, I don't want to pick up these upgrade or these experience gems, but we don't seem to really have a choice in it right now. How long do we still need to survive? 6 more seconds, 5 more seconds. And I think we should immediately like drop the bomb if we get the opportunity, because... Oh, is it then gonna get us straight back into the curse perspective? Because that will make me very sad. No. Alright, now we always just have a bomb that we can drop after a certain amount of time. You know, not too bad. That wasn't too bad at all. You just need to stand still for a little bit. Do I think that will ever change? That I will ever be like more certain about the things in my life and be able to take in strong positions in debates? Maybe, possibly. But I notice it, for example, also when I'm reading books or when I'm listening to a podcast or just pursuing any kind of intellectual endeavor that is. I always try to like remember every single detail, because I definitely don't want to get anything wrong when I'm retelling the stories. But that makes it so that I almost never actually remember any of the stuff that I come across, because I am too afraid to repeat it, too afraid to use it. And if you don't use it, you lose it. That's exactly how the memory side of your brain works, how the neurons in the hippocampus work, you know. Don't use it, you lose it. I do think that I have definitely become more loose, more realistic in that throughout like the finishing off of my university degree. Now that I have my degree, I have become a bit less, a bit less stressed about being right about everything, and a bit more like, yeah, we'll see. I'm just putting my opinion out there. I don't necessarily know if it's exactly right or wrong, but it doesn't matter for right now. I am just making sure that people know how I think about things. And sometimes it's also not the worst thing in the world to be wrong about something, you know, because that's how you learn. That's how you learn, and that's how you show people that you still have some stuff to learn and that you want to learn as well. That you're not afraid of saying something controversial, something brave. And that you are aware of the possibility to be educated. Mr. White Red, I would really appreciate it if you could just die down for a second so that we can get your upgrade, because we are desperately in the need of some stronger weapons and stronger things. Give me even more projectiles, please. I am moving around trying to get to as many pots as possible. Some gold is of course nice, but really we are in fact looking for some apples, because we are quite low at HP. On the HP side of things. How have you guys been doing? It was a bit of a long discussion about being doubtful in life. I'm quite satisfied with how it went. I'm doing quite a-okay. Sunday evening, start of the week is right ahead of us. Had a nice weekend. A little family party for the 50th birthday of 2 people in my family, my aunt and uncle. It was really quite a blast. We stayed until almost 2 in the morning, which is like the latest I remember us staying at a family gathering in years, probably. At New Year's, when we were at Krogren's place with friends. That might sound weird, but that's also like family for me. We definitely stayed even later, so that was fun. But here it was just like our actual family on my father's side. And normally we don't stay for that long, but it was just nice, cozy. It was also a bit emotional at sometimes. Heard some deep stories, some personal stories. And additionally, and I'm gonna be brave and vulnerable for you guys here. One of our family friends has been diagnosed with Parkinson's disease a while back. If you don't know, a disorder mainly focused on like the dopaminergic systems in your brain that makes your muscles go a bit crazy, be out of your control. You get all shaky, you get a different body posture, it's hard to eat and speak. It's a disease that makes your body just deteriorate. I think that's the best way to quickly summarize it. And I knew already for a while that he had that disease, but I had never seen him since then, because I don't even know the guy all that well. You know, I know that he's just a friend of my parents, but I don't know him personally myself or something. And for some reason though, seeing him fucked me up. It really did a number on me. I don't know why. I think it's partly of being a psychologist as well. Buy for 2000 gold in shop. Let's see what that is. It looked like a reroll upgrade. Being a psychologist and immediately being like, oh, this guy must have some rough days when it comes to mental health and stuff, I want to help him, I want to listen to him, I want to have a conversation with him, but it's not my responsibility. I'm sure that he has all the care in the world, and I know for a fact that him and his wife are like really good people, so they will definitely also take care of each other. And it was heartwarming to see as well that he just remained there, remained at the party right up until like the 2 o'clock mark as well, because they left like right before us. So that showed me that, well, he probably at least still had fun, had a blast, you know? And it is heartwarming, and that's definitely like essential for me to give it a place, because he was just like a little bit hunched over, a little bit silenced, a little bit silent, and you could hear his speech slur a little bit, and yeah, for some reason that just really fucked me up. Talked about it with some of my friends and my girlfriend as well, and they told me like, yeah, it's just you being an empathic person, it suits you, it's how we know you, it's normal that it kind of hits you, that it makes you emotional a little bit, because I mean it's such a strong disease as well, and something you can't do anything about, so that also makes it like really difficult to cope with, just the fact that like you're feeling so hopeless and helpless in the face of Parkinson's disease. And that was definitely true. That's definitely a big factor. I want to help those people immediately, but I know deep down that you can't help them. And it's only going to get worse. It's only going to deteriorate further. I think that those are all factors that immediately played into why I got so emotional. But I am quite glad that it made me emotional, yo, because it showed me that I can still get hit by human suffering and the human condition and the hopelessness and meaninglessness of life, and the fact that even when you get hit by such a harrowing disease, you can still make something meaningful of your life. You can still go to parties with family and friends and stay there up until late and still enjoy yourself. So it immediately just reminded me of some of the perils that we have to face as humans, but also that it makes life beautiful in some way, because it also breeds connectedness, you know? Seeing somebody suffer, seeing someone be so vulnerable, seeing life kind of hit someone in the face, and you want to... Sorry, I was a bit distracted by the mail that I got from the bike repair shop, even though it's almost like 11 in the evening, but that's great. I asked them like, hey, do you guys have any intel on my bill? Because I need to send it to my accountant, but either way, it kind of makes you realize that life is short in a sense, you know, and that disaster can always strike. And I don't want to make it seem like once you get such a diagnosis like Parkinson or Huntington or cancer or whatever, that your life is immediately over, or meaninglessness, or that you can't do anything with your life anymore. But I'm sure that you all understand what I'm saying, you know. It just, wow, that's satisfying. It's just such a crazy idea. Such a crazy idea that something so life-changing can happen, but that you don't have control over at all. It's really crazy. Here we go. My little buddy Serb. My little Serby Werby. Huh? No match for me. I hope that my slingshot will just do most of the work against Cerberus, or that we find like another upgrade. We still haven't found a magic mushroom while, or like one of those giant making mushrooms while we are fighting Cerberus. I really want to see the combination of those two things, whether you also one-shot this little demi-boss enemy. And I call it a demi-boss because I know for a fact that it's still not like the main boss that this area has to offer, because we still need to defeat that guy to actually complete the area. Although I don't think that it really matters, because I think that you would normally get a new zone unlocked once defeating this area, but that is not the case right now in this demo version of the game. A demo version where we are slowly but surely like unlocking every feature that it has, exploring every feature that it has, but we definitely need to save up gold in reality to buy Cerberus grapes to make sure that we have more equipment slots, because I think that will definitely help us out. I've talked about it already a little bit, how I enjoy and definitely really appreciate the limitations they install in this game by giving you only 3 slots for everything, for actives and passives, but having more slots is going to be fun to create more overpowered builds, create stronger builds, get a little bit more synergies in there at least. Because now you definitely need to make some choices sometimes. I also don't really understand why Cerberus wouldn't drop like an upgrade chest, or at least something like a bunch of gold, but doesn't matter. For now, all we can upgrade anymore is the little defensive upgrade that we have. Oh, give me more. Give me another apple as well. Give me that gold. The defensive upgrade, because that's the only thing that is not level 8/level 5 yet. Upgrade into upgrade. And I know that there is one more right on top to the left. And now we will just gain like a bunch of gold whenever we level up, right? I think so, which is nice because we are saving up for 6,000 gold. So far this run is okay, but I think we don't really have a late game build, you know. I don't know if the game really is that complex or if I'm just making it too deep, but I feel like this build with the slingshot and stuff is more focused on the early to mid game, where we are able to clear out some single enemies that don't have that much HP, but that now while the screen will really get flooded, we will be in more and more trouble gradually, which is, I guess, what this entire series of games, this entire genre of games, the survivors games, is all about. Like having a good time and an easy time at the start, clearing out a bunch of enemies one by one, but then after a while just getting completely swarmed. I just realized that we could have like been going to another altar for another one of those cursed upgrades, so I guess we can go down there, but we moved out of the way for an entire kilometer, I see. So we are gonna have to slowly but surely work our way down there. Other than that, the family party was a lot of fun though, really like a blast. They had some nice food, some mini hamburgers, some fries, some pasta, nice drinks as well. A whole bunch of wine, a bunch of sparkling wine, and also additionally a bunch of heavy beers. Heavy beers that I really enjoyed. Triple Carmelite, a famous Belgian beer, one of the best ones in my opinion, but also one that can knock you off your socks immediately if you're not careful. Like really, I don't know how or why, but that beer can make me tipsy, topsy-turvy immediately without hesitation. So that's why I definitely drink it with limitation. Oh, it's a little bar right there, quite proud of that. Talking about the boundaries that I know in the field of alcohol is definitely not something we're going to get into, because that is something that you can find discussed in like 20 other Onkruid videos already. Then we are collecting a lot of gold. We almost have 6,000 actually, just from this run alone. But in the end, I think I drank 1 glass of sparkling wine, 1 of those like heavy beers, the Triple Carmelite one. There was also dark Westmalle, all named after like abbeys and stuff. So Westmalle is the name of an abbey where they brew the beer, and the darkness is like the fact that it wasn't a blonde beer, it wasn't a yellow color, but it was like a severe dark brown color. And then also Duvel, the classic, named after the devil, because as we all know, alcohol is of course a creation of Satan, and nobody should actually enjoy or drink it. Not true. In moderation though, in limitation and moderation, that's key. And then, other than that, I drank like 1 Coke Zero, an iced tea or 2, a regular coffee, that was enjoyable as well. And I think that was pretty much it for the evening. Spent a lot of time talking with my girlfriend, with my brother and his girlfriend as well. Always lovely to see them. They are normally not present at family gatherings, so this was really quite a unique experience, and it was a lot of fun. I'm definitely glad that they made sure that they were able to come. They made the time and space in their agenda. I know, for example, that my sister-in-law is very busy most of the time. She is also a clinical psychologist, so it runs in the family, even though she's not really, well, yeah, she is really family. That's why, if you're ever seeing this, love you, bro. But I know that she is also in the middle of her therapy education, and that it is taking its toll on her, like it does with everyone, because that is just like an insane investment you do. You invest a lot of time and effort into that all the time, and you are constantly forming yourself as a person, educating yourself on becoming a better therapist, but also just changing as a person constantly. So it is a very tiring endeavor to embark upon, even though it's an endeavor I am embarking upon in the next year probably, but it's something that has to be done because it seems right. It seems like the final, or one of the final puzzle pieces in my life falling into place. Becoming a client-centered therapist is really what I want. So I'm really glad that they were able to make the time in their agenda to attend that little family party. Other side of the family, not always the people I enjoy talking to or being around the most, but it was all fine. I spent a bunch of time with the people that I wanted to spend a bunch of time with. What about the bomb versus Cerberus? How does it do? Ooh, yeah, that is exactly what I hoped for, and that is quite satisfying as well. Quite a lot of damage. Still no test subject when it comes to, or no test opportunity, no experiment opportunity. We have the hypothesis, but we can't conduct the experiment yet of the giant making mushroom, the Super Mario mushroom with the Cerberus. I haven't seen one of those mushrooms in just like a while in general, really, to be honest. Another 500 gold. Now I know that was not exactly 500, but oh damn. We took quite a lot of damage there for some reason all of a sudden. I think we got a little bit swarmed, and I think once this power-up has ran out that we are also just gonna get swarmed again. These enemies that are running at us right now seem to be very, very dangerous and actually rather quick. I do also think that we are just in general quite far into the run at the point where we normally always die, and I think we are on our way to do it yet again. That bomb is gonna help us out with surviving a little bit more, and after all we did get 6,000 gold in this run, so that is gonna make it a bit easier to actually achieve like the real victory the next time around, hopefully, because we will be able to unlock another upgrade. Looking at this game, man, it looks so fucking funny. I love it. Iron balls. Upgrade your arsenal with more. Just more. Just more. Oh, you can scroll here. One more chance. Reroll. Confer the power to reset the level. Interesting. So some more upgrades that we can buy. But first of all, giant grapes. For sure. For sure. Awesome. Now that we have that, we can go crazy the next time we play this game. Thank you very much for watching. Some interesting discussions by me today, if I do say so myself. Quite satisfied with this video. Hope to see you in the next one. Bye bye.